All right, welcome to our students, parents, counselors that are joining us for this evening's session for our Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair powered by StriveScan. Students, just a couple of things before I pass it off to our wonderful college representatives. If at any point in time during the presentation you have a question for the whole group or maybe just for a specific university, go ahead and use that Q&A button down in the center and someone will get back to you with an answer. Your microphone and your camera are off so our panelists can't see or hear you. Also, to all of our Minnesota students, this is the last session of this evening, but please know that there are several more sessions tomorrow evening as well to sign up for. And when this session is ready for a recording to be available, usually in a day or two, it will be at strivescan.com/Minnesota. Without further ado, I am going to pass it off to our first presenter, who's from Beloit College.
Welcome students, my name is Karen Smith. I am the Midwest Regional Admission Manager at Beloit College in Beloit, Wisconsin, which for those of you who are from Minnesota, we're about 4.5, 5 hours south. We sit right on the Illinois-Wisconsin border. So South Beloit, which is a city in and of itself, is actually in Illinois. I think that as you're attending sessions these next couple of days, you're probably trying to figure out what makes one school different than others. And so I'm going to tell you, there are a number of small private liberal arts colleges in this country, of which Beloit College is one. And what makes us different is actually exemplified in how we reacted to the pandemic this year. So as a result of our reaction, we were recognized as the #5 most innovative college in the country. And so what did we do, right? So last March, when all of this craziness in our lives began, our students were actually on spring break. So instead of saying you have to go home, we were forced to say to them, you can't come back. And that was odd and weird, and we kind of, figured out how to deal with that in that. We did allow students to come back and get their things on a schedule. For students who could not come back, for whom that was prohibitive from a health standpoint or a cost standpoint, we said, let us know what's in your room that you need in order to finish the semester virtually, and we will mail it to you. And we did that. And we will also pack up your stuff for you and store it. So we did. And then we immediately started working, as most schools did, most companies, to figure out how we might safely bring students back to campus in the fall, this last fall. And that was crazy, if you can even remember that, because, restrictions were changing every day. What we needed to do was changing every day. And so when we put together our COVID task force, we had students on that COVID task force from the beginning. Which is very typical of Beloit, to have students involved in the agency of decisions that are made. And so we worked and worked and worked to try to figure out how we might bring students back. And at the end, when we finally had our Back to Beloit plan and the administration was ready to give that to the students, it was the students on our task force who said, no, this message has to come from us to our peers. In order to maximize our opportunity for success, we need to deliver this to our peers and to the faculty and to the administration. And they did. And so 80% of our students were on campus this entire year, studying in person safely. And we were able to do that in a number of different kind of innovative ways, and it worked. And the primary reason it worked was because our students were very invested in making it work and helping each other. One of the things that I would point you to, and I'll put it in the chat, is our student statement of culture, which lives in a very public forum right on our website, which talks not only about how our students are leaning in to deal with each other during the pandemic, but also how we are fostering and continuing to build an anti-racist community. Okay, so now the stuff that you're going to hear from lots of other schools. What do we look like, right? Every number tells a story. We are a smaller school, 1,275 students that come from an incredibly diverse background, both geographically, racially, socioeconomically, culturally, and we all live together in a smaller community. The city of Beloit is about 40,000 inhabitants, and our campus sits right at the top of the hill, about 3 minutes from downtown Appleton. An interesting fact is that Beloit College was founded before the city of Appleton. And so there's always been a very strong relationship that exists between the college and the city. As a matter of fact, 3 of our buildings are located in downtown. Our most popular majors are listed here. We've been known for a long time for our programs in anthropology. We offer all different types of anthropology. We also have 2 working museums on our campus. One of the ways that we have leaned in to reimagining how our world might exist is to implement what we call AMP, or the Advanced Mentoring Program, which allows us to match new students up with their first faculty advisor, their first faculty mentor, within 72 hours of when they're telling us they're planning to come to Beloit. So most students are getting that match while they're still in high school. And they're going to work with that faculty mentor for the first 2 years that they're at Beloit, and up until the point where they declare a major, which students don't have to do until the end of their sophomore year. There's ongoing programming that takes place both first and second year, and then as students transition into career channels and are starting to investigate broader areas of what they might do once they leave Beloit. And so you'll see the career channels that we currently have available, 7 of them, and students are working on internships and making connections and starting really to build their village, right? So they have AMP advisors on the front end and career channels connections on the back end so that they can very successfully move on. We are a very vibrant community. You're going to see our brand new powerhouse, which is both athletics, student center, eating, dining, activities, all that good stuff. And then what we look for in a student's application. We practice very holistic review. We have been test optional for a very long time. And my contact information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We will now move on to our presenter from the Minneapolis College of Art and Design.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you digitally. So I have visuals, of course, being a visual arts college. And behind me is actually part of this mural that's on the south end of our main building. MCAD is the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. We are 13 blocks south from downtown Minneapolis. And we are the only art and design college in the state of Minnesota. Now, what's unique about MCAD is that we are a private school, but we are also a nonprofit. So what this means is every student who is at MCAD receives a merit scholarship when they are admitted. These are the different areas that you can study at MCAD. It's a 4-year bachelor's degree. You can study, as you can see, like advertising, animation, comic art, illustration, product design. But then we also have a degree in entrepreneurial studies, where you're actually combining art and business. Now, as a private school, our tuition is around $43,000 per year. But as I said before, as a nonprofit, we give out huge discounts. So we actually give out over $11 a single year in financial aid. And as I said before, that every single student who's admitted to MCAD receives a merit scholarship. And those currently range between $13,000 to $20,000 per year. So as I said, we give out huge discounts. When you're applying to an art school, a lot of the things are similar to state schools. We need transcripts. We can see test scores if you'd like to, but those are optional. A letter of recommendation, a personal statement, but then the main difference being that portfolio of artwork, which is for us a visual portfolio. We basically want you to turn in 12 to 20 pieces of your best, most original artwork you've done within the last year or two. They can be in any medium that you wish. We also require that you show within that 12 to 20 pieces one observational drawing, meaning you're doing this drawing from direct observation, from what you are seeing in front of you, not from your imagination. So the rest of your portfolio can be any medium that you wish. As I said, it could be photography, film, illustration, graphic design, product design. We've had students, show, shoes that they're creating or different types of inventions that they have. So it's very, very open. 50% of the consideration for if you get into the school is actually just on your portfolio. And the other 50% is a combination of your grades, test scores, if you turn them in, as well as your personal statement. So we're looking for things in your artwork like composition, pushing the compositions to the edge of the page, thinking about the positive and negative shapes, in between, idea development, and those types of things. So MCAT is a small school. We only have about 800 students in the school total. This is a graduation class from a few years ago. The undergraduate program is about 650 students, and it's about a 10-to-1 student to teacher ratio. So for every 10 students, there is one faculty member. The school is also open for students 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and on all holidays. And even during the pandemic, students have full access to the building because they need to be using our woodworking shop and our painting studios and our film editing studios, to create their artwork. So it is open with, of course, restrictions and specific policies during the pandemic. So once again, MCAD is a private nonprofit visual arts college. We have been around since 1886, so for over 130 years. We're 13 blocks south from downtown Minneapolis. And if you would like to get more information about the school, you can contact our admissions team. I am the assistant director of admissions. These are the rest of the team. But you can also just contact us by emailing at admissions@mcad.edu. And when I get a chance here, I will put that back into the chat for everyone. So thanks very much for listening, and bye-bye.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presenter is Northern Arizona University.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hey, that was really cool art. I love looking at all that creative ability that I don't have pictures of that. Thanks for sharing that, Jessica. Well, hello everyone. My name is Danny Everett, and I am here representing NAU, or Northern Arizona University. Now, I'm guessing that for many of you here, when you hear the word Arizona, your imagination transports you to a place similar to what you see pictured here. That is, you think of desert and cacti and vultures swooping around in a thermometer with cracked glass because the temperature is too hot to measure, and your mouth starts to water from thirst just thinking about all of that. Well, what if I told you that there's a place in Arizona nestled in the mountains at 7,000 feet amidst the largest ponderosa pine forest in the world, a place where the temperature has never been over 100 degrees in the summer and has a winter that averages 100 inches of snow, yet a few days after it melts, or a few days after it falls, it actually melts. a place with endless outdoor opportunities. It's been called one of the best college towns in the nation. Now, you might think I was talking about some kind of fictional far off land, but I assure you, no, I'm not talking about Narnia or Rivendell or even Hogwarts. I'm talking about the home of NAU, and that is Flagstaff, Arizona. And that is precisely where I'd like to start with my presentation, because location, 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 it's so important. The location that you choose to study in, because hopefully you like it there because you're going to be living there for 4 years or more. So let's talk about Flagstaff. I just mentioned a lot of great stuff about it. It's a different type of Arizona, as I mentioned, than what you might imagine. We get 4 beautiful seasons, all pretty temperate, even though we get a ton of snow, which leads to great outdoor opportunities, like you can see on the slide here. Very temperate seasons as well. Now, there's awesome outdoor opportunities. If anyone likes to explore, you don't have to be a rugged mountaineer. You can just go on one of the many hiking trails. Pictured here is Buffalo Park, a local flag favorite here for residents and students alike. Of course, the Grand Canyon, one of the natural wonders of the world, is just it's a day trip from campus. For a lot of people, that used to be a once in a lifetime opportunity, but students at NAU can do it in just one day. I've certainly taken advantage of that. Flagstaff itself is a smallish city. We've got about 75,000 permanent residents, and this really cute, really cool downtown area with some serious mountain vibes. On top of the mountain vibes, if you ask me, a really good local food scene, especially for the size city that we are. You can see students love hanging out there too. So now I want to talk a little bit about student life, what it's like to come to NAU. You can see I've got the best of both worlds quote up there. I don't know if there's any Hannah Montana fans here. I certainly am a Hannah Montana fan myself. You get the limo. Okay, I won't sing it right now, but best of both worlds. Why? Because NAU is big enough that you get the perks of a big school. We've got over 20,000 students on our main campus, but it's small enough that students report feeling this like it's a big family, that they get individualized attention, that their professors know them, they know who they are. Let's talk about some of those perks of a big school. Traditions, you see the running of the freshmen here, our homecoming carnival, the NAU freshman letters. We'll get a zoomed out view later. Our cheering section at one of our football games. You get tons of resources. One of the cool things about being where we are in Arizona, we've got a really diverse campus. Almost around 25% of our students identify as Hispanic or Latinx. We have a large Native population here on campus. In addition to that, almost half of our students identify as first generation. That's something that's really cool. I was a first generation student myself. So no matter who you are, where you're coming from, we have the resources to really help you thrive and succeed on campus. Also, lots of events. Besides all the stuff you have going on as a student, we put on a lot of events. This is dive-in movies. We play a water-based movie like Baywatch or Jaws or something like that, and you get to watch it in the pool with your friends. Bring in lots of concert comedians, speakers. Don't know if anyone is a Jesse McCartney fan. That's Jesse McCartney here on campus a few years ago. And of course, 15 Division I athletic programs here on campus. So even if you're not really that into sports, that's fun because it's a good place to meet friends. There's traditions surrounding that. There's tailgates, giveaways, all that good stuff. Lots and lots of fun. I didn't mention this. NAU is a state-funded public school here in Arizona, one of 3. So that might be important for you to know as well. Let's talk about admissions. This is what we're looking for. Unlike at a lot of schools in other states, we're not looking at every single class that you've ever taken in high school. We only look at these 16 classes. We call them the core 16, sometimes the sweet 16 you hear. So from 4 years of English down through 1 year of a fine art, we extract out of those 16 classes your core unweighted GPA. We're not looking at the GPA in your transcript. We're looking at this core unweighted GPA from these 16 classes. So you need a 2.5 to be considered for admission. And if you've taken all 16 classes and you have at least a 3.0, boom, you don't have to sweat the admissions process wondering, am I going to get in or not? You would be guaranteed admission in that situation. One of the great things about NAU is that it enables you to pursue an out-of-state education in an affordable way. Now, of course, anytime you're looking at going out of state for college, the price tag is probably going to be higher. That's why I really like this slide, because it shows that NAU is doing a lot of work to make college accessible for a lot of people. Not only do we have a very competitive non-resident out-of-state tuition, but we also offer these scholarships that can instantly bring down that tuition, $11,000, $9,000. One joke before I leave. NAU actually holds the world record, you're not going to believe this, for students gathered on a field to spell out NAU. So not all schools can claim that. If you want my contact information, please feel free to reach out to me anytime and follow us on social media.
All right, thank you so much, Northern Arizona. And we will now pass it off to our representative from the University of Alabama.
All right, trying to get my screen up here. Shoot. Kara, do I just click on this share screen now?
Here, I just reset it for you, I think. Yep, green share screen. Here we go. Excellent.
All righty. Well, good evening, everyone. Well, unlike Danny, I'm not going to sing for you any songs, but I'm Craig Waite. I'm the regional recruiter from Minnesota for the University of Alabama, and I'm thrilled to be talking to you tonight. I know that the University of Alabama gets a ton of out-of-state students, so we're very excited about all the interest from Minnesota. The University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa. It's a classic college town in the South. It's a town of about 100,000 people. The University of Alabama, being in Tuscaloosa, is in central western Alabama. So a lot of the students from Minnesota will fly down for a campus visit or fly back and forth, but it's a 15-hour drive or so from Minnesota, depending on your hometown. Alabama is a big school. So, you know, you've heard from some smaller schools and some mid-sized schools. Alabama is definitely a large school. We have about 38,000 students. Fun fact about the University of Alabama is we have more out-of-state students than we have in-state students by a lot. So we're at about 60% of our students who are not from the state of Alabama. So not everyone's going to have that deep Southern accent. There's a ton of programs. One of the nice things about Alabama is what you want to go into is probably something we have with 200 plus degrees to go into. I get a ton of students interested in business, engineering, pre-med, and pre-law. Those are the four biggest that we get. But of course, there's something for everyone with over 200 degrees. Even though we're a big school, we don't pack you into massive class sizes, 23-to-1 student-teacher ratio at the University of Alabama, and a top-ranked honors college also. If you decide that you want to apply to the University of Alabama, that opens in July. We are a test optional school. So although no decisions officially been made for next year, my expectation is we'll continue to be test optional. So what that means is you can apply to Alabama, send us your high school transcript, and you do not have to take the ACT or SAT or send it to us. We will accept those test scores for scholarship purposes if you do take them, but it's not required. And there's no essay, no interview, no letters of recommendation. It's just important to remember January 15th, because you have to be admitted by January 15th to be considered for full scholarship consideration. The average student at the University of Alabama has a 3.8 grade point average and a 27 ACT. So that is the average student coming to Alabama. We have over 200 national merit finalists in our freshman class last year, and over 800 national merit finalists on campus. So when students ask me why are so many students from Minnesota coming to the University of Alabama, it might be they want to go to a big school in the South and they visit and they love it. And I do hope you visit schools and you find your best fit where you'll be happy and successful. But I think the number one thing that actually brings people is they get just a massive scholarship. So if you have a 3.50 grade point average at the end of your junior year and you get a high test score, these scholarships are automatic. and they're for every year. So for example, if you get a 32 on your ACT and you have over a 3.5, you're getting $28,000 per year for all 4 years. We also have scholarships for those who are test optional. By the way, the test score where scholarships start is a 25 or a 1200 SAT. So a lot of students get really, really nice scholarships. It's actually the first thing when I say, how did you get interested in Alabama? They usually say, well, I found out I was getting a really big scholarship, and then I looked into it more from there. But you can also get a $28,000 yearly scholarship and never take the ACT or the SAT. And that's going to be based off your grade point average and based off your scholarship application, which is going to deal with leadership, extracurricular, volunteerism, that type of thing. Alabama's electric. It's alive. There's 38,000 students. There's 600 clubs and organizations. The biggest Greek life organization of any country in America. You do not have to go into Greek life if you're going to Alabama. We have like 20-some thousand students who don't. But a lot of students do, and they love it. And it's kind of a highlight of their college experience. Over 11,000 students in Greek life. But there's 600 clubs and organizations. So whether it's church groups, whether it's academic clubs, sports, political. I was talking to a student today who was in the Young Democrats and the Bass Fishing Club. I thought that was an interesting combination. So there's something for everyone at the University of Alabama. It's very electric, very pleasant, beautiful campus, and just beautiful people, just kind people who are very inclusive. I'm a big, I've been working with high school students for over 30 years. And the one advice I'll give you is visit the schools you're interested in. Find your best fit. Find where you're going to be successful and happy. Obviously, if you don't want to go far away, Alabama's out. If you don't want to go to a big school, Alabama's out. But if you are interested in a big school in the South, the University of Alabama is the iconic Southern university in the United States. I actually set your visit up for you. So if you're going and you let me know that you're going to visit, I will actually set up your tours, your meetings. Our tours are 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. So it's quite an event. And I'd love it if you take a look at the University of Alabama. I'm actually going to give you the contact information of one of our recruiters whose name is Allison. Her email and her contact information is on the screen. And I really appreciate you sharing some of your time tonight. I didn't even mention football and Roll Tide.
All right, thank you so much. Our next presenter is from the University of Dubuque.
Hi, my name is Dustin. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Dubuque, and we're a small private school located on the border of Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. And, we just want you to know that UB starts with you. Choosing a college is one of the most important decisions of your life, and at the University of Dubuque, the education starts with you. We're going to have around 2,000 students here. And the big thing we want every student to know is you're not going to be a number here, but a name. Your professors are going to know you on a first name basis. And if you're not in class one day, you're probably going to be getting a text message wondering where you are. So the class sizes are about 15-1. And we are doing in-person classes right now and planning on doing that in the fall. I like to say we're a college here that's going to be here for you every step of the way. I'm going to be kind of your go-to person on the application and the financial stuff. Your professors, your coaches are here for you throughout your time at college. And then our career service center is going to be here for everything after college. That is a very important part of the college experience. Everything happens afterwards. We want to be a college that's going to be here for that next step. We're going to help you out with cover letters, interviews, internships, mock interviews, resumes. We're really going to be a college that's going to be here for you every step of the way. And on top of that, before you even come here, you're going to be signed a first-year advisor to make sure your schedule will work for you. And throughout your time, you're going to be signed multiple advisors to help you out to make sure you're going to graduate at the time you want to graduate. You're going to be in your major right away. We're not going to be a college that, you know, your sophomore, junior, you finally take classes in your major. You're going to be taking classes in your major from the start, because we want to make sure that's the major you want to be in. How do you know you like that major if you're not taking classes in it? So your individual interests are deeply valued, and we care about those here. Sorry. So we have a big melting pot of students here with many different worldviews and interests. And like many other schools, we are test optional too. We believe your test scores don't tell the whole picture of who you are. We also have a lot of organizations, over 60 student-led organizations. And if you don't see one that you like, you can always start your own. We have a representative who helps out with every student organization to help get the name out and help start their own. So here's just some of our buildings. This is our Heritage Center in one of our common areas. We have invested a lot of money back into this. Over the last 25 years, we invested over $300 million into remodeling and campus construction. So here's just kind of a quick drone of our campus. This building actually is up and running now. We don't have the updated drone yet, but that is a full building now. So here's just some of our majors. We are a liberal arts college. Two of our biggest majors are aviation and nursing, but our business and sports marketing are some of our growing, as well as the pre-health profession. So we're Division III schools, so but we also have a lot of intramural sports for students that are interested in that stuff as well. Here is our football field. And for women's sports, we have basketball, cheer, cross country, golf, soccer, softball, tennis, track, and volleyball. And for men's, we have baseball, basketball, cheer, cross country, football, golf, lacrosse, soccer, tennis, track, and wrestling. So with our admissions, we have a fully staffed admissions staff, and we're here to answer questions like, what is life on campus? Where will I live? What's the FAFSA? How long it's going to take to apply? When I see my financial aid, we're all going to be the go-to people on that. And if you ask us something, you're going to be getting a response right away. So if you feel that you know, you're a good fit for you, we're going to do anything we can to help make it possible for you to come here. We have a very unique financial assistance process. It's a long and complicated one, and we want to try to make it as easy as possible. You're always going to be on the same page as us, and you're always going to know what the cost is going to be. And we're going to have a fully staffed financial staff as well, that's going to be able to answer any questions you have. With that, if you are interested, I will share this link. You can just do, you know, fill in this information and we'll reach out to you. We're committed to eliminating the barriers other schools have in place. So we're completely test optional and there's no application fee. So if you are interested, our application is simple, just kind of help us get to know you a little bit better and we'll be in touch.
All right, thank you so much. Our last college here for the evening is University of Portland.
All right. Hi, folks. My name is Yulixpa Rios. I also go by Yoli. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Portland in Portland, Oregon, West Coast, Pacific Northwest. So if you're interested in going to a school out on the West Coast, in the Pacific Northwest, then you might consider us. We are a smaller school, private institution, and I will talk a little bit more about our school, but when we have events on campus, we always like to begin with the land acknowledgement, so I'm going to continue that tradition. We acknowledge the land on which we sit and which we occupy at the University of Portland. The Portland metro area rests on traditional village sites of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Bansis, Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Molalla, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River, creating communities and summer encampments to harvest and use the plentiful natural resources of the area. We take this opportunity to thank the original caretakers of this land. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. You can see in this image that our campus is pretty green. That's one of the perks of it raining a little bit more than I think in other parts of the country. It's always going to be green here on our campus. Summers are gorgeous. People here are always going to have like a rain jacket. I always have one in my car, in my office, just in case. It doesn't pour, in case you were wondering. It's kind of like always like a light drizzle here in Portland. And we do get sunshine, so don't be too scared of that. We do get the sunshine, and we have beautiful springs, summers, and fall. So you can definitely go out and explore the beautiful Pacific Northwest and sites here, not too far from our campus. One thing that is different is that we definitely do not get as much snow as folks in Minnesota do. For us, maybe like 3 inches to 5 inches of snow is a lot. We freak out. It's like a snowpocalypse here. We don't know what to do. So we typically have classes canceled. So that's what happens when it snows here. We don't know how to drive in the snow. A little bit more about our campus. We're a small private liberal arts Catholic institution. Like I mentioned, we are located in Portland, Oregon. We are not an urban campus. We're actually about 15 to 20 minutes from the downtown area. We love to say that Portland is more than a downtown. There are so many different neighborhoods to explore. We are known for like food carts, coffee shops, donut shops. So if you're into all of that, you're going to be just fine. There's a lot to explore around our neighborhood. So we are in a neighborhood called the University Park neighborhood. We are on a hill, so we overlook the Willamette River. So it's a very scenic location. We have the river, and then across from our campus, across from the river, you see Forest Park, which is just acres of land that the city of Portland has designated for folks to go out and maybe go trail biking, hiking, running. So students are not too far from the outdoors. That's about a 10-minute drive from us. And we're about, just to give you some perspective, the coast is about an hour away from us, and Mount Hood, which is a popular destination for skiing, maybe hiking, going to lakes, that's about a 90-minute drive from us. So again, the outdoors is pretty close to us. And our campus actually feels like we're in a college town. Even though we're in a city, it kind of feels like we're in a college town because we're in a neighborhood. And we're a small community too. We have about 4,000 students. So folks that are coming to campus that are not students or staff or faculty are typically folks that are walking their dogs, or you see people running along the main boulevard. So it does kind of give you that best of both worlds vibe here on campus, and that's what students really appreciate. We have a smaller student body, so our average class size stays at about 24 to 25 students. You will get to know your professor very well. They'll be able to connect with you. They have office hours. You can go chat with them about any assignment or class project that you have questions on. We don't have grad students or TAs teaching any classes. So again, you'll get to know your professors very well. We don't really have grad students. So research positions are open to our undergraduate students. I would say if you are interested in any science major or even a College of Arts and Science major, you can have the opportunity to have a research position that's paid with a faculty member. And I know that's a big perk for students. Being in Portland, we also offer a lot of internship opportunities. In the area, Adidas is like 10 minutes away from us. Intel's not too far, Nike, Legacy. There's a lot of major companies in the area and small startups that are in the area. So students love to get opportunities to intern with them. I've had friends that interned at Columbia or Tillamook, if you've heard of that cheese factory, ice cream factory. I know it's more of a West Coast thing, but there's a lot of opportunities to intern in the area and not too far from campus. We are a Catholic institution. About 40% of our students self-identify as Catholic. You do not have to be Catholic or be religious to be on campus. We don't have a requirement for students to, be Catholic. We like to say that religion on campus is always an invitation. We have a very diverse pool of students. I would say that about a third of the students that are declared as Catholic, self-identify as Catholic, might attend service or be a part of campus ministry. But again, religion on campus is always going to be an invitation. And just so you know a little bit more about our academic programs, we do offer 4 professional schools: the School of Business, School of Nursing, School of Engineering, and the School of Education. And these are all direct entry. And then we also have a College of Arts and Sciences. That was a very brief introduction about University of Portland. You can find more about us on social media. We're very active on Instagram. And I will drop my information as well, so you can follow up if you have more questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to all of our presenters this evening. We do have just a couple of minutes left here with our time together. So those presenters, if you want to pop those cameras on, we'll go in the same order that we started in. Just a brief answer, maybe 30 seconds. What advice would you give to a student who is starting the college search process? And we'll start with Beloit.
Spend some time getting to know who you are as an individual. Like just some thinking time about what it is that I would want in the next place where I'm going to spend 4 years of my life. Not what anybody else wants, but what's important to me and what will help me be the best person I can be.
All right, how about Minneapolis, art and design?
Very similar advice. Do the best that you can in high school. Don't go by anybody else's standards, and research the schools you're interested in, and then study and go into what you want to go into, because that is what you'll be doing for your life, and may as well do what you enjoy.
Northern Arizona.
And both of those are fantastic pieces of advice. I definitely won't even try to top that, but I will say have fun with the process. Don't stress out about it too much. I know it seems like it could alter the course of your life forevermore, but there's tons of great colleges. So have fun with the process, find something that feels like a good fit, and don't stress out too much about it.
Alabama.
Yeah, roll tide. I would say the biggest thing is know what you're looking for in a school and make a list and start having fun doing your research. But it's all about finding your best fit where you're going to be successful and happy. Doesn't matter if that's Alabama, Northern Arizona, wherever it is, it's your personal best fit. So just reach out. Admissions people like to help and find your best fit and just have, like Danny said, have fun with it.
And Dubuque.
Pretty much everyone said what I was about to say. So I guess the main thing is don't be afraid to ask any question. We're all here to help, and I can tell you, if you reach out to us, you're probably going to get a phone call within 5 minutes. So make sure to just ask any question that's on your mind. We're just here to help any way possible. We're here to help you find the best school for you. That doesn't necessarily mean we're here to have you come to our school. We're just here to help you find a good school.
And Portland.
The last thing that I will add is if you want to know more about the universities that you're researching, look up the student clubs that they have on campus, because we all bring our own, identity, cultural, religious, just what do you like to do? You have your identity, you all bring that to campus, and you, if you want to find community and see others that might share those values, check out the student clubs on campus.
Excellent, great. Well, that basically brings us to the end of our time together this evening. Students, just a couple of things. As you click out of the webinar, there is a quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate if you answer that for us. It helps us to build future programming moving forward. There are additional Minnesota sessions tomorrow evening, so make sure to check out that same website where you signed up for this one to see if there's any you want to go to tomorrow. And this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening and have a nice night. Bye, everyone. Thank you.